Hi guys, in this video I'll show you some real-life photos and videos I shot with APS-C lenses on my Sony A7Cii II. I believe one of A7Cii II's best features is its compact size, so it's logical that you might want to put on a tiny APS-C lens on it. I'll show you a few comparison photos and see how much of a difference there is between using a full frame and an APS-C lens on this camera. Let's start with the side-by-side comparison. I won't tell you which one is shot with which lens, and let's see if you can tell. So all the photos on the left-hand side are from the full-frame Sigma 28 to 70 f2.8 lens, and on the right-hand side are from the APS-C Sigma 18 to 50 f2.8 lens. I think I can tell the difference by the more shallow depth of field from the full-frame lens. You see, from the first set of photos, the focus is on the chair, but the leaves in the background show larger bokeh from the full-frame lens. As for noise and sharpness, when you set it to low ISO, the difference is marginal. Only at high ISO can I tell the difference. At ISO 6400, apparently the APS-C image looks more noisy, but it's not the same case every time. It really depends on the lighting condition of the environment. You see, at ISO 8000, the difference is not that noticeable. The APS-C lens does create some strange patterns at the bright areas, but if it is not a side-by-side comparison, I probably won't notice it. Now if we push the limit and take a photo at ISO 12800, I don't even need a comparison. The APS-C image is significantly more noisy. Let's also take a look at dynamic range. I'll use this image shot at ISO 6400 and I'll raise the shadow and lower the highlight. And we can see the flaws of APS-C lens become more noticeable. But in most cases, if you don't over-edit, I think there won't be a problem. For video shooting, it's important to understand that at 60 frames per second, A7Cii II will crop the footage for 1.5 times. So it doesn't matter whether you are using a full-frame lens or an APS-C lens. It'll be in crop mode anyway. This is why the framing looks different. When you use the full-frame lens, you are cropping into the footage, so it will look more narrow. And when you use an APS-C lens, you are just cropping away the edges, which are supposed to be black vignetting. Now, if we set the APS-C lens also to 50mm, the framing is the same, and the two footages look basically identical. These two footages were shot in S-Log3, so let's test their dynamic range by doing some color grading. You can see no matter when I do moderate editing or crazy editing, the full frame and the APS-C lenses have very similar performance. I cannot tell one from another. So the takeaway of this video, if you want to maximize the background separation, use full frame lens on your full frame camera. But if you don't care that much about bokeh, then generally APS-C lenses work just fine too. Of course, you will get lower resolution, but in most cases you won't be able to tell, unless when you're using ISO higher than maybe 5000. In this case, you will have to be really careful when shooting with APS-C lenses. And I would suggest when editing your photos, maybe just leave the shadow areas there and don't try to brighten them too much and don't over edit. Otherwise, you will get very soft and unnatural look. But overall, if you're not shooting with super high ISO numbers, you don't have to worry about dynamic range. And for videos, if you are shooting slow motion footages regularly, then congratulations, you probably don't even need a full frame lens, because unlike taking photos where there's full frame mode and APS-C mode, for 60 frames per second, it's always in APS-C mode. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have also tried putting an APS-C lens on a full frame body, leave a comment to let me know how you think, or maybe you have some great APS-C lenses to share with us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.